I think the persons who proposed and started the P.E.P, I think they knew exactly what they had in mind. I don't think the idea was to basically allow the person and the program then to advance themselves. I think it was just a means of giving persons a few dollars and encouraging them to vote in one direction, one way. As you said, some of these programs are only started coming up to an election, and we are 3 years from an election, and
Yes.
we have come up with this step, and by election the step should be properly organized, should be properly functional, and some of the success stories from this step will be used, trust me, in that upcoming election campaign.
Yes. Now, Mr. DeSuza, how many persons basically are on the program at the moment? There's a call. Working for you, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon again.
Yes.
I just want to update my brother Nabu and the people in number 6, especially in the area Deathbed, that all those land down there, the Bowman Park, the Deathbed development, and all those land down there that get out to those rich people under the farmer regime. So it's nothing much that this government can do, because those lands done in private owners' hands. I hear my brother Nabu all the time say that what about a good village of Deathbed? But he remember that, we must remember that the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister was down there from, and what he has done to the people, even in St. Paul's, because look at the Kitchen Hill, where a good friend of mine died up there in the hospital bed, calling, asked the PM, how we going to compensate for all the provision and all the foods that they plant. And he got a dead man. And agriculture, I think that young people more interested into different things and agriculture. Look at it. Now, when you go around this country, you got so much land that up and down that waste, you call it ordinary land, wasteland. They could go down and start to do something for themselves. And when government see them doing something, they go and they uplift themselves, because it's so them all time people used to do, like me father them. My government never give me father them the land. They go in the mountain and where they see piece of land, they farm a piece of land, and all the old money doing agriculture at them time. Government never provide the land for them. They go and they work piece of land. And when they improve, maybe government help them to get wire to fence the land, and some people come big farmers by doing that. So sometimes you got to start yourself, and then the government see that you're willing to do something, and they step in and they help you. Look at in my area right now. In my area right now, because of politics, all of our land in number 3 give out for housing project and give out for different things. I got over 20-something cattle down here. And I cannot get piece of land in my area to farm and them. My government is in. I am going to put burden down the pressure upon them. Because what don't happen in the park, what don't go on by the morning can't come good evening. And I always say that I wouldn't like to go out of my area to put my animals them on the next estate. Because it's this estate I work all my life, my parents them come work all life here, and I was deserve something here on this estate. All kind of people getting all kind of big lots, big this, big that, and big terror. But what about me, as an ordinary guy? All right, then, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. So basically that there's a lot of effort from the S.T.E.P office, and I want to take this opportunity to say thanks to the staff of the office. We are still trying to work some logistics in relation to that. We have some very hard working people in the office. I want to take this opportunity to express my sincerest appreciation to them. I want to take this opportunity to thank the folks at the National Skills Training Program for partnering with the S.T.E.P and likewise the TVET Secretariat. All of the facilitators who we have interviewed and who have agreed to come on board, I want to thank them. All of the institutions that will be accommodating our trainees, I want to thank them as well. I look forward to a very productive relationship with the S.T.E.P and these institutions. I also want to encourage the trainees to take the training seriously. You are in a position to receive training free of cost as a result of an investment by the government, and you should not allow that opportunity to pass you by. We look around and we realize that there's an influx of non-nationals, and we don't want to be non-receptive to them, but at the same time we must give priority to preparing our locals to take up the job opportunities that are available. At the orientation, try to impress upon them that they have the ability, you just need to stay with the course. We have a coordinator from the national skills end, we have a coordinator from the S.T.E.P end. If there are challenges that you have, you need to draw them to them. And I'm speaking to the trainees now to draw them to these coordinators' attention, because we don't want people dropping out from the training. That's not what we are about. We want all of these persons who are entering into this training to take it seriously. We want them to be determined to take it to the end. We want at the end of this initial set of training to have these persons receiving their NVQ and make it a proud moment for so many of our young persons. We need you, the country needs you, and the better equipped you are with a skill, the higher the chances of you living a comfortable life. Thank you.
Mr. DeSuza, the intention is to get everyone who is now on the program involved in S.T.E.P.
Every single one. Yeah, thanks for asking that. Everyone. We appreciate that a number of government institutions got S.T.E.P, and thank God S.T.E.P workers, and thank God most of these work from 8 to 4. But we want every individual under the S.T.E.P to go to some kind of training. It is not just training in TVET that we are prepared to offer. We have training in a number of other areas that have been identified that we can put our young persons through. When we approach you later down to get you to show some level of interest in what is being offered as a second, maybe a third or fourth phase, we expect people to be responsive. We haven't touched here any training in IT. We haven't touched here any training in let's say fishing. We haven't touched here any training in let's say computer graphics. There are a lot of areas that persons who are on the S.T.E.P program and employed in government institution can demonstrate an interest in. So we will basically be doing the same thing. We'll be coming to that cadre of person, that set, and let them indicate, and out of those we'll come up with the areas that we want.
Now will this S.T.E.P be an ongoing thing, in the sense that you're going to have people who are being trained? When those persons have finished their training, all of them that are presently now on the program, will the program continue?
Well, I suspect that the program will continue. I don't think there's any intention of stopping the program. I think what has happened is that the program is now being much better managed, I should say. We have been able to remove a lot of the irregularities and ghost workers from the program. We are trying to get people to perceive the program differently. I think when these things are done and if they are successful, the general public would have been appreciative of all the efforts that went into reorientation, bringing the program on par with what is happening in some other government areas, and we'll be pleased that the government is now, after so many years, getting value for money. So I think the program is going to continue.
Now, you mentioned some of the people who are partnering with the program, those who would be teaching in the program, some of the other stakeholders who are assisting. How is the program working for you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon, sir.
And good afternoon to Mr. DeSuza.
Yes, good afternoon.
Mr. DeSuza, your program is timely as it relates to step to step. And step means, I believe, we're moving forward. If we are moving forward, Mr. DeSuza, I am a man who always believes that poor people have a right to live, poor people have a right to survive. I also do believe, when you said earlier, that people must work for a fair-based pay. And nobody must come to work at 7 o'clock and go home 9 o'clock. That cannot be fair.
Sure.
And I always believe that that needs to be corrected. However, I believe that there are those people forcing step, now move up to step. Those who have been sent to the civil service, those who have been sent to government corporations, etc., etc. Step to step has been going on maybe for the last 4 to 5 years now, or a little less than that. What happens to those persons who has been there in terms of being on the regular staff? Because it cannot be fair, Mr. DeSuza, that persons working in the system and then they don't know where they're going to end. All they know, they're just working from week to week, from month to month, and then persons just being employed. The very same system, Mr. D'Souza, that they have been there, let's say 2 years, 3 years before they employ someone to come into the system and leave them there. Mr. D'Souza, that cannot be right. The government and you will have to determine what you're going to do with those people. People cannot continue to work under those kind of conditions. It's stressful. Okay. So you'll have to tell the people exactly what would become of them now they is step. Okay. So I listen off live.
Okay, Terry, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams.
Another call. Working for you, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. D'Souza. I notice you ignored my initial question, but anyhow, be that as it may, leave it alone.
My apologies. Can you please
it's best left alone. We can't bring it up. But what my concern this time, before you got into the P.E.P business, we had been hearing stories of all sorts of shenanigans and corruption within the organization. People's family getting money, persons, friends, and that kind of thing being paid by P.E.P without actually having to work for P.E.P and that kind of thing. Well, what has become of that? And was there any kind of investigation? And if there was, and this kind of stories were true, what happens as a result? Do people get prosecuted for use and abuse of the government's money? I will listen off air for the response from yourself.
Working for you, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon again, gentlemen. Now, before the P.E.P program come into effect, what was so many hundreds of young people were doing? A lot of them were linemen. Well, it's good that they get a chance to work and put a little money in the pocket. But like we all know, a lot of it wasn't done fair. They were just going out there and wasting time and go back home. Now, if there was any vision in the person who bring up this P.E.P, they would not have destroyed all those machines at the Boston Sugar Factory when the sugar factory closed. Because long after the factory closed, a lot of those machines disappear from the factory. Many a tradesmen in St. Kitts and Nevis been to that sugar factory, go learn trade, mechanic, gasoline mechanic, diesel mechanic, auto body repair, welders, electrician, carpentry, masonry, plumbing, all kind of trade used to go on up there. And if they had any vision, they would have saved those things in the sugar factory and sent people up there continuously. Election coming on, no election, just send people up there to train. And then people would have been able to go on their own or go away and do whatever it is. But no vision was there, so they just take up everything, ship them out of here. Gone. So nothing there for anybody to go train. God knows if any machinery up there still and how much. Thank you very much.
I would just like to make a response in relation to the gentleman who asked about the folks who would be trained and what will happen to them at the end of the training. Remember I said along the way that we will be engaging in an internship program which we hope at the end of this internship a number of these trainees will be absorbed in the different sectors. We also hope that some of these persons may be in a position to secure startup capital and go off on their own. In relation to the caller who spoke about the S.T.E.P staff, I appreciate the concern. There's a concern that has been raised at the staff meeting, and we just had two already for the week about regularizing the P.E.P staff, because if the S.T.E.P is not going to go any place, I think the government will have to look at the possibility of regularizing the staff. Now, the irregularities that we met on this S.T.E.P, there were numerous. I remember one case where a gentleman who lives in Nevis was turning up at the P.E.P office Thursday morning and Friday mornings, and then the timesheet was coming for him indicating that he was working a whole week in Nevis. And I mentioned about the business that had a sister living in the States and been on the P.E.P. I also mentioned about one business that had up to 28 at one point workers, and they are difficult to account for all of those.
I remember also, Mr. DeSuza, because you shared some of those stories with me, of the phantom stories. And I remember you sharing with me a story. You had gone out into the field, and there is this so-called farmer who has a number of young men who are attached to a farm, and there's actually no farming going on or anything. Basically, it was full of weeds.
Yes, I can give the location, which I prefer not to give at this time. I was on the trip. There were 8 persons coming in on the timesheet. When we went to look at the farm, there was absolutely nothing going on the farm, nothing whatsoever. I want to continue though in terms of the investigation. I don't think the government, current government, wants to invest time, energy and resources dealing with some of these loopholes, some of these irregularities. I think the focus should be on investing the resources going forward, bringing the program to some proper organization, bringing the program to something that delivers, bringing the program to something that the government is proud about, bringing the program to something that the persons on the program are proud about, and bringing the program to a state where the persons who work out of the S.T.E.P office are happy to be a part of this training. So I am not totally in favor of going down the road of trying to rehash some of these things. They have gone, and I think we need to let them rest, but the emphasis should be on going forward, where we raise the bar completely with the S.T.E.P program, and we are making a concerted effort to do that. The matter of the sugar factory, I ain't going on that road. I know, I'm old enough to know that if we had that mechanic shop up at the factory functioning, a lot of vehicles may not have been off of the road today. And somebody could have taken over that shop, the machine shop, and use it to the benefit of the country and themselves.
So DeSuza, I hear a lot of talk, there was about agriculture, but I know it is one of your passion.
Mm-hmm.
I know it is your passion, and I know that, you spend a lot of time in farming, and you see it as a sort of what is really keeping you on your feet and
keeping you sane.
And keeping you sane.
I have some 32 years experience as a farmer. People would see me selling outside the market, and I'm told that I may have to go in the market just now, but people see me selling outside the market. I've been doing that for 32 years. Okay, so I have interest in farming that is dear to my heart.
Is there anything else that you would like to say as we close, Mr. DeSuza? Basically, we are out of time.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Mr. Williams, and your staff for having me on the Working for Your program today to bring some clarity to the nation, to explain to the nation the change that the government would like to see from the P.E.P to the S.T.E.P. The fact that the government is now expecting to get value for money. And I want to close by again thanking all the parties who are involved in bringing this step to what it is today. I look forward to a continued working relationship with these people as all of us try to make the government proud in relation to its investment in the S.T.E.P program. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. DeSuza, I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us today about the transformation of the People Employment Program into the Skills Training Empowerment Program. Today we have learned a lot in terms of how our people, and especially our young people, can be really empowered through skills training. You have been listening to Working for You. I want to thank all of you who listened today, all of you who called in and offered your suggestions to the government, congratulated the government on the initiative that it has taken to transform the P.E.P into S.T.E.P. Those of you who asked your questions and so on, we want to thank you so much for your interest, and we thank you for every week tuning in to Working for You. I am your host, Lesroy Williams. Have a good day.
Working for You. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Lesroy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.